Okay, in this part of the lesson, we're going to be working with finding the product of two scientific notations. So product is when we're multiplying between two. Okay, or dividing. So in this case, we're kind of working with one that's a little bit more advanced. So we have 9.2 times 10 to the power of 12 divided by 4.6. So we need to write both of these into scientific notation. Okay, so scientific notation, we would do this one times 10 to the power of 0 places. So we want to move 0 places. Okay, so since we're doing division, we're actually going to write this up so that it's one on top of the other. So we'll start, the first one has to be our top one, 9.2 times 10 to the 12 divided by 4.6 times 10 to the 0. Okay, so now our next step is we're going to divide each of these pieces, or work as if it's two different parts. Okay, we're going to work as if it's, I don't know why that's not shifting to a smaller thing. Okay, we're going to work as if it's two smaller pieces. So I'm actually going to do my 9.2 divided by my 4.6. So if I take 9.2 divided by 4.6, it's going to give me 2. So I get a whole number of 2. I know it's going to be a times 10. So remember way back at the beginning of the chapter when we worked with division, we would bring this up and subtract. So 12 minus 0 gives us 12. This would be our final answer. Now, in some of these, if we have more than one number in front of our decimal, which right now our decimal is not shown, it means it's right here. We only have one number. But if we have more than one number, or not at least one number, then we have to do that extra step of converting to proper scientific notation. Okay, so division, we're going to set it up so that it's one on top of the other. If we're doing multiplying, we're just going to leave it as is. Okay, so here we've got a multiplication one. Okay, so this, and I know it's multiplying because they're going to put one of these in a set of parentheses. That one right there, that 6 becomes 6 times 10 to the power of 0. Okay, then we're multiplying. So I'm going to go times 8 times 10 to the power of negative 5. Okay, so we're going to work with the front numbers first. Okay, 6 times 8 gives me 48 times 10. And then when we multiply, we actually add our exponents. So 0 plus negative 5 gives us still negative 5. Now, this is what I was talking about on the previous problem. Here, this part right here is not in proper scientific notation because no decimal shown means it's there. We can only have one number in front of our decimal. So we have to shift. Okay, 48 was greater than 1, or greater than 10, so that's a positive thing, positive, and we moved one place. Final answer, 4.8 times 10, negative 5 plus 1 gives me negative 4. Okay, so when we multiply and divide, we're going to work with the front numbers, doing that multiplication and division, and then we're going to add or subtract between the exponents. So here we have 1.5 times 10 to the negative 8 divided by 6 times 10 to the 7. So we're going to work it in pieces. Let's do this first. 1.5 divided by 6. 1.5 divided by 6. No, you cannot reverse that and say it's 4 because that's not right. It's not 6 divided by 1.5. It's 1.5 divided by 6, which gives me 0.25 when I divided that. Okay, so now to simplify this, remember it's division, so I'm going to subtract and bring that up. So negative 8 minus 7 gives me negative 15. So it's times 10 to the negative 15. Now, this is not in proper scientific notation because we need a non-zero number here. So I'm going to have to shift one place. Okay, it was less than 1. That's a negative thing. So negative, we moved one place, 1. So now final answer, 2.5 times 10. Those together, negative 15 minus 1 give me negative 16. Okay, so let's try another one. Okay, this time we've got multiplication. So when we multiply our front numbers. I know it's multiplying because of that. 3 times 5 is 15 times 10. Now, when we're multiplying exponents, we add these together. So -5 plus a -2 gives me -7. So 15 times 10 to the -7, not in final form because my decimal's here and I can only have one number in front, so I have to shift one place. It was greater than 1, so that's a positive thing. And we had to move one place, so it's a 1. Final answer, 1.5 times 10. -7 plus 1 gives me -6. Okay, so the key thing on this, you need to pay attention whether you are multiplying or dividing. Okay, if it's division, you need to write one scientific notation above the other. The first one stated as your top set of numbers. If it's multiplication, you're going to go ahead and multiply your front numbers, then add together your exponent numbers. If it's division, you're going to divide between your two front numbers and then subtract between your exponent numbers.